What's good with YouTube? You already know. Big Flacco with a comics perspective. Now you already know what time it is. Smashing, dashing, sliding on through with a whole lot of energy. So please hit the like, subscribe, comment, do all those things to help support your boy, and hit that bell notification for future fire content. So as you guys probably know by now, I've been here almost 6 months in county jail, Pima County, and set to eventually hit the Department of Corrections in Arizona. And it's been different. One being from out of state, and not only the changes of what I'm used to as far as the strict California politics. You got to remember, last time I was really incarcerated anywhere, we didn't have this huge infested SNY population that you do in California now, where everybody mostly now is SNY. And, you have something that's equivalent to the Arizona ISP, which is the non-designated program yards, to where they're forcing SNY and GP to mix. And you're seeing an adverse effect. You're seeing some that are going to these yards and they're getting off, and then others, right, are getting there and they're deciding to stay. And there's a lot of reasons why. It's because the traditional struggles as we speak no longer exist. And, I'm seeing that, and I'm hearing all the stories. I've heard people in here tell me that, they're set to go, and they're SCG, and they already took their deal, and that they don't know what they're going to do. You know what I'm saying? And I go, what do you mean? They go, well, I've always been GP, right? And if I go to this yard or that yard, and I want to hit, as soon as I get my pack, I got to give 25%. And then, on top of that 25%, I either got to bring in what they want, or I got to wait till they sell their product, and then I'm okay to sell my product. There's no free reign. There's no free control. He goes, but then again, he goes, if I end up going to an IHP yard, I'm not a big fucking dude. It's every man for himself, right? I may get that back. Next thing you know, I may have 3-4 dudes that are on that bully mentality trying to come here and take my shit. So you never know what to expect nowadays. And it's like I'm seeing it. I'm seeing the changes happen. I'm hearing the same changes are happening in California. And I've talked about this many times. It's kind of a shocker in a lot of senses. But what it is nowadays is this. So this dude over here, he ran up a debt. So this dude over here fucking snitched on the street. So this dude did this over here. Whatever it may be. Nobody in here gives a fuck anymore. Nobody cares. Okay? If you're the one that's going to bring up the issue, then you better go over there and handle your business. Because if that dude finds out that you're running something on his name or have something to say about it, that dude's going to come handle his business with you. So it's no longer like where you're holding behind a bandana or you're hiding behind this. Oh, that dude's a piece of shit, or that dude's garbage, or that dude did this or he did that, or he locked it up over yard because he owed dope. If you're not ready to fucking be about that action and go see that dude about whatever issue you have with him, then you might as well shut your mouth. You know what I'm saying? It's not where, like in California, like as you see on some of these channels, you have people who talk really freely about calling other people out, calling them pieces of shit, or calling them this, that. Yet we all know on their best day, 90% of these dudes would probably pee on themselves or wouldn't do shit. You know what I'm saying? Those same individuals, if they were locked up somewhere like an AZ or some of these other states nowadays, they would basically be told, well, go handle your business in. Oh, you don't like it? Oh, he's this and that. Well, why don't you go handle it? Nobody's in this anymore to catch time for the next man. Nobody is in this to fucking follow under anybody's bandana or push an agenda. And that's what I'm seeing. It's almost like the Tango Brass in a sense. There's very few GPRs now, right? There's I think maybe 3 or 4. Really? Maybe a couple lower ones, maybe 5 or 6 yards that are 35 yards. You know what I mean? And there's a couple fully PCR, which is the 805 program, but they have the IHP. And a lot of people's IHP, what they're saying now is, and this is my 3rd time mentioning this, right? But it's fucking true. It's the PC is the new GP. And they're throwing everybody in there, and everybody has a different attitude about it. Like I said, I've seen people try to push certain agendas for roll calls or stuff like that, and people are like, nah, I don't want to be no part of that. Why? Why am I going to get caught up with somebody else's name? Why am I going to put my name on paper and get a fucking SCG point? Why am I going to do this? And it all makes sense. You're seeing people that want to stand on their own 2 feet and do their time, and then if they have issues, then they're going to have to come bring it to them. They're going to have to be about it. It's not going to be the next man to where, okay, hey man, this dude has a split on him. He's on the list. He's this and that, or he did this and that. Well, if you're going to bring up those things, they're going to be like, hey, well, here's a piece. Why don't you go handle it then? That's your business. You got such an issue with homeboy, you handle it. Which, for an individual who, as a lone survivor, especially like a place like, as far as for myself, I mean, I could thrive in an environment like that, you know, anywhere, you know what I'm saying? But for a lot of individuals who have to hide behind shadows or have to hide behind fucking titles and labels, you know, a lot of times they need to be on certain yards in order for them to be there. I've always said that some of the biggest wings I've ever met were some of those that were on the GP side, right? The full GP side in California, because they're hiding behind a flag, they're hiding behind a bandana. And I used to get really upset because some of us have really made sacrifices. Some of us have been frontline. Some of us have stabbed fools. Some of us have took people's lives out on these yards or on the streets. And to have those type of sacrifices and for people just to fucking hide behind that and not do shit and then fall off and then just totally disrespect it or do like that, that used to be fucking really frustrating, you know, really frustrating to see that. Nowadays, people of this younger generation are already seeing past that. It's all about the money. As soon as everybody got rid of the carnalismo, right? And it's funny, I talked to Flaco from Santa Rosa, and he said, you know, if it was about making money, he goes, I can make money with anybody. He goes, I don't need to be part of the organization to make money. He goes, as soon as it stopped being about the carnalismo, the unity, right, about the betterment of the people, we basically fucking threw our flags in. And it makes total sense, man. And that's happening everywhere. It's happening in every state that where Rasa reside right now, to where you have all these fucking turmoil, all these people that want to be the fucking metal, or all these dudes that want to fucking turn this and turn that. And it's just crazy, man. Like, literally, I'm witnessing it before my eyes live, and I'm reporting it live. You know what I'm saying? So it's just a shock to me, man, because the same stuff that I hear here, I hear it's going on in California, I hear it's going on in Washington, I hear it's going on in Texas, I hear it's going on here. It's like, man, you know, people, all these groups have been created because people don't know how to sit there and treat people right. If you treat gente right and you have one purpose, one goal, and one mind, and no one lets their fucking egos get in the way, that's the only time you're ever going to see any group, organization, or collective succeed. But until that happens, you're not going to see no success. I mean, for how many years? I think the only years I ever seen the Norteño plight really start to flourish was when we had those obstacles, because that's when we were in unity. As soon as the hostilities ended and the separation of the shoe and all that stuff stopped, the war was no longer even fucking worth fighting anymore. All you started seeing was people politicking against each other. All we started seeing was people trying to hate on each other, or trying to get who could make more money, or who could do this, or who had more pool, or more resource. It was no longer more about the unity and about the carnalismo and about the safety of the people. And I do agree with that. That's where it's at everywhere nowadays. Everybody's all in it for one thing, the money. You know what I'm saying? And in a lot of ways, I get it. You know, the obstacles that used to exist are no longer there. The administration has had a lot to do with encouraging this. I mean, they're trying to do it in California, the non-designated pouring guard. That's basically the IHP that they're doing in Arizona. And people are starting to sit there and say, well, either we go along with the programs that the administration has given us and we get less time now, we get more privileges, or we go against them and we get treated like shit. Not only by administration, but by the so-called big homies that want to control and tell people what to do. These are facts. This is not no fiction. You know what I'm saying? These are facts. Anyways, just food for thought, man. Like I said, I've been here for like about shit. This is like the third time I talked about it, man. And, you know, I remember doing time in Santa Clara County and Santa Rita and other counties, doing time in San Quentin, and every once in a while having those, you know, some vicious beguilers go down or some one-on-one fights. I've seen more one-on-one fights happening here than I have in all these other county jails, because in here, a lot of men have to stand on their own 2 feet. You don't got a homeboy that's going to just fucking jump on you. If someone disrespects you and you allow it, everybody else is going to start disrespecting you. You know, in a lot of ways, it's almost like a SNY versus GP here. I shit you not. It's almost like a SNY that's GP here. You know, because this is GP where I'm at. Anyways, with that said, it's your boy Flaco. Just some words for thought. Like I said, all these things I'm talking about, I'm telling you, you're going to see a lot of changes, man, because I can tell that all these different states are on the same fucking pace. They're all watching what each other's doing, and they're all working with the federal government on the same page. Guaranteed you're going to see a lot of new changes that are going to happen everywhere else. With that said, it's your boy Flaco. I'm out.